IBIS News. I'm Suresh Kochate. The Trump administration has announced new restrictions on H-1B non-immigrant visa program, which it said is aimed at protecting the American workers, restoring integrity, and to better guarantee that H-1B petitions are approved only for qualified beneficiaries and petitioners, a move which will affect thousands of Indian IT professionals. The interim final rule announced by the Department of Homeland Security on Tuesday, ahead of the US presidential election on November 3rd, will narrow the definition of specialty occupation as Congress intended by closing the overbroad definition that allowed companies to game this system. It will also require companies to make real offers to real employees by closing loopholes and preventing the displacement of American workers. And finally, the new rules would enhance the department's ability to enforce compliance through worksite inspections and monitor compliance before and after the H-1B petition is approved. The H-1B visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows US companies to employ foreign workers in specialty occupations that require theoretical or technical expertise. The technology companies depend on it to hire tens and thousands of employees each year from countries like India and China. Such a decision by the Trump administration will have an adverse impact on thousands of Indian IT professionals. Already a large number of Indians on H-1B visa have lost their jobs and are headed back home during the coronavirus pandemic that has severely hit the US economy. According to DHS, the interim final rule to be published in Federal Reserve Register will be effective for 60 days. It said that the US Citizenship and Immigration Services is forging the regular notice and comment period to immediately ensure that employing H-1B workers will not worsen the economic crisis caused by the COVID-19 and adversely affect wages and working conditions of similarly employed US workers, it said. The pandemic's economic impact is an obvious and compelling fact that justifies good cause to issue interim rule, the DHS said in a press release. The White House defended the move, said that the president is improving America's work visa program to prioritize higher skilled workers and protect American jobs and wages amidst a severe impact to the economy due to the coronavirus pandemic. In a statement, it said that Trump is committed to making sure that the American workers are not disadvantaged by foreign labor. President Trump knows that H-1B visas should only be reserved for specialized talent that helps support a strong economy. For too long, this program has been misused in an expensive labor replacing program, replacing American jobs in the process, it said. These critical reforms will improve the quality of H-1B program without changing the annual statutory cap for H-1B visas. The Trump administration is closing loopholes that have allowed employers in the United States to replace American workers with low-cost foreign labor, the White House said. The H-1B program was intended to allow employers to fill gaps in the workforce and remain competitive in the global economy. However, it has now expanded far beyond that, often to the detriment of US workers, the Department of Homeland Security said. Acting Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Shad Wolf, said we have entered an era in which economic security is the integral part of Homeland Security. Put simply, economic security is Homeland Security. In response, we must do everything that we can in the bounds of the law to make sure that the American worker is put first, Mr. Wolf said. US Secretary of Labor Eugene Scalia said these changes will strengthen the foreign worker program and secure American workers' opportunities for good, stable paying jobs. The US Department of Labor is strengthening wage protections, addressing abuses in the visa programs, and ensuring that American workers are not undercut by cheaper foreign labor, she said. In a conference call with reporters, Deputy Labor Secretary Patrick Pizzella said these changes were long overdue and had become imperative in the light of the current conditions in the US labor market. We are making good on the president's promise to protect the Americans from those who seek to exploit the system for their gain, he said, adding that the rule would ensure that Americans are first in line for American jobs as we continue our recovery. Data shows that more than 500,000 H-1B non-immigrants in the United States have been used to displace US workers, which has led to reduced wages in a number of industries in the US labor market and the stagnation of wages in certain occupations, the Department of Homeland Security said. The Department of Labor said that the prevailing wage rates in these programs play an integral role in protecting US workers from unfair competition posed by the entry of lower-cost foreign labor into the US labor market. It is essential that the methodology used by the department in calculating the prevailing wage rates accurately reflect what US workers are performing in the same kinds of job with similar qualifications and make sure that employers cannot use foreign workers in place of US workers. The interim final rule, it said, will improve the accuracy of prevailing wages paid to foreign workers by bringing them in line with wages paid to similarly employed US workers. This will ensure that the department more effectively protects the job opportunities and wages of American workers by removing the economic incentive to hire foreign workers on permanent or temporary basis in the United States over American workers. Donald Trump, who is a Republican, is seeking another term to the White House. He is being challenged by the former Vice President Joe Biden of the Democratic Party in the November 3rd presidential election. In June, President Trump administration suspended the H-1B visas along with another type of visas until the end of 2020 to protect American workers. Reacting to the latest US move, the industry body NASSCOM on Wednesday said the changes announced in the H-1B program will restrict access to skilled talent as well as harm the American economy and jobs. NASSCOM believed that the changes announced in the H-1B visa program will restrict access to talent and will harm the American economy, endanger US jobs, put US interests at risk, slow down the R&D into solutions to COVID crisis. It's important for the United States market to be able to access skilled talent for its businesses, especially during the COVID recovery phase, it said in a statement. These regulations seem to be based on misinformation about the program and run counterproductive to the very objective of saving the American economy and jobs. This is particularly relevant at a time when the US businesses continue to face a huge deficit of STEM skills, NASSCOM said. Despite the high degree of overall employment in the United States, demand for high-tech skills continue to remain robust, clearly endorsing the argument that there are not just enough workers with relevant skills to fill in them. The new rules announced will worsen this talent gap by making it more difficult for US employers to hire foreign workers, NASSCOM said. Thank you.